Adrian Wood has spent decades at the helm of New York City's oldest barbershop, Molé, snipping and styling the locks of some of the world's most prominent figures. From rock stars to presidents, his chair has hosted legends, but none more enigmatic or demanding than Donald Trump. For over 30 years, Wood meticulously maintained Trump's infamous hairstyle, adhering to strict rules about where the scissors could, and couldn't, go. Yet, beyond the headlines and speculation about the former president's hair, there's a whole different story, an untold one. At 82, the former barber has broken his silence on Donald Trump. This is one story you just can't miss. Adrian Wood's journey to becoming one of New York City's most revered barbers began far from the hustle and bustle of Manhattan. Born and raised in the United Kingdom, Wood developed an early appreciation for traditional barbering, drawn to the craft's precision and the unique social role barbers played in their communities. His passion for cutting hair became evident during his teenage years, when he would practice basic trims and shaves on friends and family. Determined to hone his skills and make a name for himself, Wood eventually made the bold decision to move to New York City in the early 1970s. Arriving in Manhattan, Wood faced an entirely different cultural landscape from the one he had left behind. The city was alive with diversity, energy, and creativity. It was the place where dreams could either flourish or be brutally crushed. Wood knew that his path to success lay not just in his technique but in his ability to adapt to the demands of a city that never slept. He took a position at Molé Barbershop, a landmark establishment known for its history and distinguished clientele. The decision to join Molé was strategic. The shop had been a staple in New York since its founding in 1913 and had long catered to an elite and diverse crowd. Wood quickly realized that maintaining tradition in a rapidly changing city required a nuanced approach. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, New York was evolving. Styles were shifting from the slick, conservative cuts of the previous decades to more relaxed and expressive hairstyles. Yet, Molé maintained its commitment to classic, well-groomed aesthetics. Wood knew that while trends came and went, the core of the barbering craft remained unchanged, delivering precision, consistency, and an experience that clients would remember. But how did he balance honoring the past with embracing the future? Molé Barbershop, located on the Upper East Side, is more than just a place to get a haircut. It's a piece of New York history. Founded by a French immigrant named Paul Molé, the shop initially catered to the well-to-do residents of the neighborhood. Over the decades, it became synonymous with quality and sophistication. By the time Wood took the reins, it had already established itself as the oldest barbershop in the city. Yet, Wood knew that keeping the shop's legacy alive required more than just tradition. It required staying relevant while respecting the shop's roots. Throughout his tenure, Wood has maintained an environment that feels both timeless and contemporary. The shop's decor reflects its rich history: leather chairs, antique mirrors, and the lingering scent of sandalwood. Yet, it's the stories within its walls that truly set it apart. Molé became a place where celebrities and common folks alike could relax and chat, knowing that discretion was part of the service. The clientele ranged from Wall Street moguls and actors to musicians and politicians. Some of the most notable figures who frequented the shop included John Lennon, who once quipped that a good haircut was the secret to staying grounded, and John F. Kennedy Jr. Among Wood's most famous and demanding clients was Donald Trump. And that's where the story takes a truly unexpected turn. It all started back in the 1970s. At that time, Trump was a young, ambitious real estate developer carving his path through the competitive New York landscape. He first walked into the Molé Barbershop on the Upper East Side, drawn by the reputation of the establishment and the quality cuts that it was known for. Trump was still years away from being a global icon. Back then, he was more focused on real estate projects and shaping his identity as a powerful business figure. Their relationship began as one of mutual respect. Wood valued clients who were clear about their preferences, and Trump, even then, was specific and unwavering about his personal style. From the very beginning, Trump's approach to grooming was distinct and carefully calculated. Unlike many clients who would leave their style choices to the barber's discretion, Trump maintained a strict routine. Wood recalls that Trump was meticulous, almost obsessive, about how his hair should be cut. The command was straightforward: we only cut around the edge. This was an unbreakable rule. Wood was instructed never to touch the top of Trump's head. Trump's hairstyle, even in the early days, was a carefully crafted element of his public persona. He favored a voluminous comb-over, a style that seemed almost architectural in its structure. The focus was always on maintaining the illusion of fullness, particularly around the crown and bald spot. But there was more to it than just vanity. What did Trump's hairstyle really say about him? Over the decades, as Trump's career progressed from real estate mogul to television personality and eventually to President of the United States, his hairstyle remained remarkably consistent. This was no accident. Trump's commitment to maintaining a specific image, right down to his hair, reflected his broader approach to branding. Adrian Wood, like most barbers accustomed to high-profile clients, learned to adapt to individual preferences. However, Trump's insistence on precision was in a league of its own. The rule to only cut around the edge was non-negotiable, and Wood knew that deviating from it could mean losing a client. This approach stemmed from Trump's acute awareness of his bald spot, something he took great care to conceal. It was well known within the circle of his close associates that Trump used hair growth treatments, specifically Propecia. His longtime doctor confirmed this in an interview, explaining that the medication helped maintain his hair's volume. Wood, however, was not involved in these aspects of hair care. His job was purely to trim what Trump dictated. More than just a client, Trump's impact on the barbershop was surprisingly profound. Wood noticed that Trump's need for control went beyond his hairstyle. It was reflective of his broader personality, meticulous, demanding, and unwavering in his preferences. Unlike many high-profile clients who would casually chat about recent events or personal matters, Trump's conversations were often pointed and purposeful. Whether discussing business, politics, or his latest projects, Trump exuded an air of authority even while sitting in the barber's chair. The relationship between Wood and Trump extended beyond the barber's chair. In the late 1980s, Molé barbershop faced the possibility of closure. As rents on the Upper East Side skyrocketed, maintaining the shop's ground floor location became increasingly untenable. Wood, unsure of how to sustain the business, shared his concerns with Trump during a routine haircut. Trump's response was pragmatic and direct: move the shop to the second floor. He pointed out that the rental costs would be significantly lower while the shop's prestigious reputation would continue to draw loyal clients. Wood, initially hesitant about giving up the prime street-level space, eventually took Trump's advice. The move proved to be a pivotal decision, allowing the business to survive a financially turbulent period. In hindsight, Wood credits Trump's practical suggestion with saving the shop. In a way, Trump's business acumen had indirectly preserved a piece of New York's history. But Trump wasn't the only one who shaped Wood's life. Over the years, Wood's steady hands and keen sense of professionalism have shaped the looks of countless high-profile figures. Some clients, like Donald Trump, sought Wood's precision for decades. Others, like John Lennon and John F. Kennedy Jr., visited during defining moments of their lives. Wood first met Lennon during a time when the musician was navigating both personal and professional changes. Instead of arriving with an entourage or making grand requests, Lennon would quietly slip into the shop, almost as if trying to blend in. His down-to-earth attitude surprised Wood, who expected more grandeur given Lennon's global fame. Another regular who left an indelible mark on Wood's memory was John F. Kennedy Jr. He would recount anecdotes from his latest legal cases or discuss his passion for flying. Wood recalls that JFK Jr. was particular about maintaining a look that was both professional and approachable. The eclectic client list didn't stop with politicians and musicians. Wood's clientele also included rock stars, actors, and prominent business magnates. But what's the secret to crafting a truly iconic hairstyle? For Adrian Wood, crafting a hairstyle that not only suits a client but also becomes a defining feature of their public persona is more than just a job. It's an art form. While most barbers are accustomed to creating everyday, practical hairstyles, Wood's clientele often require something more nuanced. Famous personalities need haircuts that look good not just in person but also on camera, under harsh lighting, and even during spontaneous public appearances. Wood uses specific techniques to create structure and volume without sacrificing flexibility, including layering to build depth and subtle texturing to add dimension. One of Wood's signature techniques is what he calls perimeter trimming, where he focuses on maintaining the natural flow of the hair while only cutting around the edges. This technique became synonymous with Trump's style, as the former president famously avoided having his hair touched on top. Wood employs products specifically chosen for their lasting hold without appearing stiff. But beyond the technical skills, what truly matters is the relationship built with the client. One of the most remarkable aspects of Wood's career is his dedication to long-term clients. In an industry often swept up in fleeting trends, Wood's consistency is a rare gem. His commitment to traditional barbering techniques has cultivated a loyal following. From business moguls to everyday workers, his clients open up about personal challenges, career changes, and family matters. Wood doesn't just offer grooming advice, he listens actively, offering encouragement when needed. In a world where human connections can feel increasingly superficial, Wood's genuine interest in his clients' lives makes him a cornerstone of their routines. One life lesson Wood often reflects on is the importance of consistency. Trump's meticulous approach to his own hairstyle taught Wood that people who cultivate a consistent image tend to fare better in the public sphere. Wood acknowledges that staying rooted in classic methods while being flexible enough to accommodate new styles requires a careful balance. And now comes the big reveal. The question everyone has been asking for years. Few aspects of Donald Trump's public image have sparked as much debate as his hair. From memes to media analysis, the former president's hairstyle has been scrutinized, speculated upon, and parroted for decades. Is it a wig? A comb-over? Hair implants? The rumors have been endless. Now, for the first time, Adrian Wood has opened up about the truth. Adrian Wood, who has been cutting Trump's hair for over 2 decades, says that the public intrigue is somewhat understandable but ultimately misplaced. People can't help but wonder because it looks different depending on the lighting and the angle, Wood remarked. However, he insists, it's all his. 100% real. In his candid revelation, Wood dismantled some of the most persistent myths. People always think it's fake because it looks too perfect or too unusual, but it's his own hair. No wigs, no implants, just a lot of maintenance. Trump's hair routine, according to Wood, is meticulous, almost ritualistic. Trump is extremely specific about how his hair is cut. We only cut around the edge. The reason? Trump insists on maintaining the natural length and volume that has become synonymous with his public persona. The secret lies not in artificial enhancements but in Trump's personal grooming habits.